I can't believe it. It is already back day. It is the best day of the week. I'm so freaking excited. I love back day. I love training biceps and back. It is, frankly, the best day of the week for me. And it couldn't come soon enough. Despite me feeling a little depleted and tired and hungry, which is normal during a cut, I'm ready to get this workout in. I really can't complain. It's the best day of the week to hit back today. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really, really fun. We got a lot planned for today in terms of training. Some lat pull downs, some close grip lat pull downs, underhand grip rows. I had my pre-workout snack already. I didn't know they dropped a new flavor of rice cakes, or these buttered popcorn rice cakes that have the same caloric value as the lightly salted rice cakes. And honestly, they really, really taste good. They're the butter flavor is very subtle. However, it's pretty good, in terms of comparing it to the lightly salted, because the lightly salted is very, it doesn't feel like you're eating much when you eat those. But these ones, they taste amazing. So great new pre-workout snack. I had a couple of those with some fruit gummies. And yeah, let's get to it. No more dilly-dallying. Currently 4:14 in the morning. It's freaking early. But early bird gets the worm. Streets are empty. The gym's most likely going to be empty. Let's hope for that. I'm very, very excited and ready. You might be wondering why we're up so early. I've been just trying to make a habit of getting up at 4 a.m. I think it's the best time to go to the gym, to be honest. Gives me enough time to get ready for work and all that, and film properly without feeling pressured to rush a workout or rush my filming sessions when I do this. So, you know, some people ask me, I've had a couple people ask me, what kind of music do I listen to when I work out? You know, and it varies, it varies a lot. It depends how I'm feeling. I do have a playlist on YouTube of like certain music or songs or, just gym motivation type videos. But when I don't listen to the stuff like that, I listen to like my music that I already have pre-downloaded. And there's a bunch of them. As of right now, a couple that are stuck in my head. The Club Rock by, I think it's Benny Belson, or I think I'm pronouncing it right. But yeah, the Club Rock by Benny Belson, Running by Fat Dog, and then Delete. I don't remember the artist's name. The name of the song is called Delete. Pretty catchy. Very, very catchy. I'm going to be quite frank with y'all. I mean, who doesn't listen to California Girls by Katy Perry? That's a banger in the gym. I mean, it's one of my go-tos. Honestly, one that I've had on repeat for quite some time that I think is so good. And it's just, for some reason, I don't know why, I think it's probably the beat and the melody, just the way it kind of flows, is Just Dance by Lady Gaga. I think that's such a great song to go hit at the gym, do some heavy squats or some heavy lifting with some Lady Gaga, Just Dance. Let's talk a little bit about diet, though. That's something I did want to touch upon, is diet. Look, one thing I will say, if you're the type of person that constantly says, I can't diet because of this, because of that, or I want to lose weight, but like I don't want to make the sacrifices, or I don't want to eat certain foods, I think at that point you've already lost. You've already lost the plot, and you've already lost in terms of trying to get your physique to the next level. I've had clients and I've had people come to me asking for diet plans or fitness advice, and then when I tell them that there's certain foods they have to cut out, they freak out and they go, oh, but I can't. I love to snack. I had a certain client that did state that to me, saying, I can't. I love to snack. I love to binge on certain things. I love to go to In-N-Out. I like to order pizza. It's like, okay, well, then you don't want it bad enough, because you cannot realistically get a certain physique. You can definitely lose weight eating certain food. You can lose weight eating pizza if you want to, if you stay within your caloric deficit. And it's basic thermodynamics. Everybody knows this. I feel like most people know this at this point. It's almost common sense. Your TDEE, which is also known as total daily energy expenditure, but it's just a fancy word for maintenance calories. If your maintenance caloric intake is roughly 2,000 calories and you eat less than 2,000 calories, doesn't matter what the caloric content consists of. It could be Twinkies, pizza, a Big Mac. If you're eating less than the 2,000 calories, you're going to lose weight. Now, however, when it comes to building muscle and a certain physique, unfortunately, that's where you have to make some sacrifices in order to lose that weight and the body fat and build muscle as well. And this particular client of mine wanted to build muscle. They wanted to tone up their body. To that I say, you cannot build a physique of your dreams by eating In-N-Out or pizza. Unless you're on gear or something. And even then, a lot of people assume that when you're on gear, that it makes it easier to put on muscle and you can eat whatever you want. That's not the case. Kevin Levrone, Dorian Yates, Sam Sulek, Ronnie Coleman, all these professional bodybuilders, when they're prepping for a show, they don't eat whatever they want. You still have to put in the work in terms of eating the proper food and nutrition and dieting properly. In terms of that, if you are the type of person that is not going to commit to a diet and it's too difficult for you to stick to eating something healthy for a little bit, that's all you have to do essentially, is you're going to have to make some sacrifices and learn to eat a little uncomfortable for a few weeks. If you can't eat uncomfortably for a few weeks and just kind of shut your brain off when it comes to dieting, you're not going to make any progress. But I digress. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's not easy, definitely not easy to eat the same food or meal 7 days a week for a couple weeks straight. And that's another thing too. People get that misconstrued that you need to only diet for a few weeks, for a few months. It takes years in terms of a bodybuilding aspect to unlock or obtain a certain physique. It takes hard work for years. I've been doing this for 2 years straight. And this 2 years has been consistency. 2 years of consistent dieting, consistent tracking, and training. I don't take days off on the gym unless I absolutely have to, in terms of, feeling sick or it's really getting in the way of my schedule. But in terms of that, it's been very, very minimal. And the only times I ever take time off of the gym, realistically, is when it's my rest day. So that's something you have to think about. You have to make certain sacrifices to obtain a certain physique or certain goals that you want. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, how bad do you fucking want it? It really all depends on what your goals are. I mean, if your goal is to just simply lose weight, it's definitely doable. You don't have to track so hard in the sense of tracking your macros, your proteins, your fats, your carbs. At the end of the day, it's calories in, calories out. Now, if you are trying to build muscle, that's where things can get a little bit more complicated in the sense of how strict you have to be with your diet. I feel like in this day and age, I think it's pretty well known that your physique is 80% of what you eat. That's the hardest part, is the dieting. But it's funny enough and ironic enough too that that's the part that nobody can commit to. People want shortcuts and people want to figure out, what's the secret? How do I do this? How do you do that? And then when you tell somebody, well, it's calorie tracking and macro tracking on a daily basis for a couple months or a couple years, it's like they can't do it. It's hard for them to stick to that and to even believe it. They'll believe anything other than the actual facts in front of them, because they don't want to do the work. And that's the part that is kind of funny to me, but it is what it is. Those same people are the same people coming to the gym, lifting weights, and then drinking hard liquor on the weekends. And that's all fine and dandy, though. If you want to drink hard liquor, eat whatever you want when you're training, that's totally fine. I have nothing against that. I mean, I'm not your parent. The reason why I bring it up, though, is because typically those are the same people that complain a lot and constantly whine that they're not at the physique or the level of muscular maturity that they want to be at. I've met a lot of people like that where that happens, unfortunately. But then I ask them, okay, what do you do on the weekends, or how's your diet look like? And then they tell me, and it's like, well, if you're not going to make those sacrifices in order to, achieve the physique you want, then there's not really much else you can do. Don't complain about your physique when you're not willing to make the sacrifices in order to change your physique. But anyways, I digress. Sorry for the little rant, but we are here. It is currently 4:28. And yeah, you already know this whole spiel, so I'll see you guys afterwards. Alrighty. So that pretty much wraps it up. As you can tell by the footage, it was an amazing workout. I got a sick ass pump. Biceps were pumped up today. I got a sick ass back pump as well. Again, the Christmas tree is slowly coming back. Triceps are looking much more striated. There's a lot more vascularity and a lot more leanness this week, which is amazing. The gym was a lot emptier than I had expected as well, so it was even better that I could just kind of get through my workout as quickly as possible. I got done earlier than I had expected, which is amazing. Still got plenty of time to edit and do all that stuff I have to take care of. So honestly, I give this a 13 out of 10 workout. It was an amazing pump, amazing day. Honestly, just glad I was able to get a good workout today, despite me feeling depleted. Tomorrow is leg day, so stay tuned for that. We'll see if we'll film some footage for that. No promises or guarantees though. I'm gonna go home, edit this little guy together, get some food in me, shower, change, get ready for work, you know, all that jazz. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. Alrighty, I'll see you on the next one.